So, the prelims for UFC on ESPN 67, aka UFC Des Moines, it starts off with the ladies, right? It is the featherweights, no, flyweights, I get my F's mixed, right? It's the flyweights, right? We have Juliana Miller against Ivana Petrović. Okay, so Ivana Petrović. She is 30 years old, 5'8", a 70.9 reach. She has a record of 1-2 in the UFC. You know, her last time out was November 2024. She lost a split decision to Janie Lynn Horf. Yeah, she lost her debut to Laura Carolina, then beat Nei Lang with an arm triangle, but, lost the next one out. Now, as you say, she won her fight with an arm triangle. And, she's looks like the ground is something she enjoys, right? She's got a few submissions. She's done some ground and pound stoppages early on in her career. But I think you could say that, a submission could be the thing that she might be looking for. Now, she's going after Killer Miller, Juliana Miller, winner of, I forget what, it was a recent season of The Ultimate Fighter, right? She won it. She's on a 2-fight skid at the moment, right? She's, like Petrović, she's 1-2 in the UFC. She fought in Invicta. She went 1-1 in Invicta. So last time out, we saw her against Laura Santos, and that was August 2023. Yeah, we haven't seen Miller in a while. She lost to Veronica Hardy before that. That was a unanimous decision. She won her debut, right, which was the Ultimate Fighter finale, where she beat Brogan Walker to win a contract, right? So that was 2022 August. So yeah, I believe she's been injured, right? So it's she is, I know she's a black belt. I forget what under. I think it's 10th Planet, right? So yeah, she's a black belt. She's fought in combat jiu-jitsu, and some other things. I think she's fought in Medusa. I can't remember if she's done an EBI or not, but definitely grappling is her wheelhouse even, I believe the expression is, right? So definitely going to be an interesting one. I do believe if it is coming down to grappling, that Miller might have the edge. So yeah, I'm going Juliana Miller to get that win. Now we go to our heavyweights, right? This is the sole heavyweight clash of the night, and we have got Thomas Petersen against Dontel Mays. So who have we got? The trainer, Thomas Petersen. He is 30, 6'1", 74-inch reach. He's coming off a loss in his last fight, right? Which is, he came via the Contender Series. He's 1-2 in the UFC. He went 6-1 in the LFA. I believe he did win a championship in the LFA, right? His last time out was a first round finish via Shamil Gaziev. So yeah, that was a stumble. Right, he beat Muhammad Usman. So that last fight was February this year. Right, he beat Muhammad Usman in July 2024. He lost his debut against Jamal Poogs. So, yeah, he won on the Contender Series via key log, right? He does know his way around the ground, right? He's had, ground and pound finishes, which he likes more than the subs, So that's how he does like to win a fight. He's going up against Lord Quang Dontel Mays. Right, he's 33, 6'6", and an 81-inch reach. So, yeah, that is a 7-inch reach advantage for Mays. Woo! Mays, though, is coming off a 2-fight losing streak. His last time out was against Walter Walker, which was the week. Yeah, I think the week after Petersen fought. Again, first round stoppage. He also lost to Shamil Gavez in August 2024. He beat Caio Machado in April 2024 to get his second. Just a win, right? He has fought some good opposition. He's beat some people. Like, he beat Andre Orlovsky, right? He beat Josh Parisian. Got a no contest against Hamadi Abarewab. So yeah, it's been up and down. He does train with John Jones now. Right? He does train with John Jones, but I don't know. We're not necessarily seeing him put it together. Because he's got the reach, he's got all the tools, but he doesn't always show the fight IQ. You just want to see him put it together. But yeah, it's he's 4-6 in the UFC with a no contest. It is shaky, so I think I'm going with Thomas Petersen to walk away with a victory. But we will see. Anything can happen, right, people? So next we have got the bantamweights, right? It is how do we pronounce this? It is Gaston Bolaños against Quang Lee. I think I probably butchered those names. Apologies. So Quang Bang Lee, he's 33, 5'6", 70-inch reach. He's on a 2-fight skid at the moment, right? He hasn't won yet in the UFC. Went 7-0 in LFA, right? Last time out, he lost to Long Jai. That was November last year. And before that, it was Chris Gutierrez, which is in August 2024. So those have been his fights. Now, in the LFA, man, he won most of the fights via stoppage, right? Just 2 fights went the distance, you know. But yeah, he had a submission, and then the other 2 were stoppages, right, in the first round, which is impressive. You know, he can get it done on the ground as well. So there is that. Now, he is going up against Gaston Bolaños, the Dream Killer. And will Gaston kill some dreams on Saturday night? He's 32, 5'7", 69-inch reach, coming off a win in his last fight, right? He is 2-1 in the UFC. He went 6-3 in Bellator. So he beat Cultiveus Romulus November last year, 2024. Before that, he lost to Marcus McGee, 2nd round stoppage in January 2024. He did win his UFC debut against Aaron Phillips back in April 2023. So it's, you know, he's not always stringing a lot of fights together. So this one, it is, yeah, it's interesting, right? Because, you know, I think Bolaños, he is coming off a win, right? Which is definitely good for the confidence. When you look at his record outside of the UFC, he does have stoppage wins, right? He does have a few. He fought in Muay Thai, but I think Quang might be the more rounded dude. You know, it's going to be an interesting one because Bolaños is a scrapper. But I'm going to say Quang gets his first win in the octagon. Now, a fight I have really been looking forward to. It is the ladies strawweights. We have Marina Rodriguez against Gillian Robertson. And boy, yeah, I think this is going to be a fun one. Right? So, we have got Marina Rodriguez, who is 38, 5'6", 65-inch reach advantage, coming off a couple of losses, you know, which is, man, it just shows how crazy things are, right? She's 7-5, 2 draws, came via the Contender Series. So last 2 were 2 split decisions, right? To Lasmin Lucindo in October 2024 and Jessica Andrade in April 2024. She did get a win over Michelle Waterstone Gomez, right, in September 2023. But after a blazing start, right, things did get a little bit rocky for her. So, you know, she's very good on the ground, right? But her stand-up is, you know, it's not too bad, right? Not too bad at all. She does have finishes. You know, so she, you know, has got a very good game. Now she's going up against the savage Gillian Robertson, 29, 5'5", 63-inch reach. She is on a 3-fight winning streak. And, you know, she fights out of the goat shed. But you got to say, Dean Thomas has done such a fantastic job with Robertson. He really has, right? She's 12-6 in the UFC, where she's, you know, that's it. That's where she's got her fight. She came via the Ultimate Fighter. So she's literally grown up in the octagon. Right, so she beat Luna Pinheiro in November 2024, beat Miesha Waterstone Gomez in June 2024, beat Polyana Viana in January 2024. That one was a stoppage. And, she has been on a run like this before. Lost to Tabitha Ritchie. But since that loss, we have definitely seen a more focused Robertson. And, we saw her get overwhelmed by Macy Barber back in the day. But I feel she has evolved a lot since then. So I'm going Gillian Robertson to get the win. So next up, we're in the middleweight division. It's Ryan Loder against Azamat Bekoev. Okay, so Ryan, Man of Steel Loder. Right, 33, 6'2", 76-inch reach on a 5-fight winning streak. He won the last season of The Ultimate Fighter, where he beat Robert Valentin. That was August 2024. But we haven't seen him in since. He was meant to fight Cody Brummage, but an injury nixed that one. Right, that was March this year. So, it's. I think he was definitely raw on The Ultimate Fighter. Now, in that fight against Valerian, who was, I think, the favorite, Loder looked great. Right, he looked great, and because he is, he's older, but he's still early in his career. So I think in those instances, in between fights, you can see a huge learning curve, right? A huge improvement from the previous fight. So because it's been a minute, you don't know what you're gonna get from Ryan Loder. The only thing that you know is it's probably going to be a completely different one than the last time out. You know what I mean? So that's where it gets interesting. Now, he is going up against Azamat Bekoev. Right? Iron Azamat Bekoev. He's 29 also, 6 foot, 72-inch reach. He is on a 7-fight win streak. So he won his UFC debut. He's also fought in the LFA, went 4-0 there. All right, Zach Reese was his UFC debut. Won that first round stoppage. And he fought in the LFA, and you can definitely look at, although it's regional, we see some really good fights in the LFA. I think, right, it looks like he could be more rounded than Loder, but as I said, Loder is still an evolving fighter, and every time you see him, he's improved, and we haven't seen him in a while. So it's how much has he improved, But Bekoev is definitely a step up in competition, and I think Bekoev could just be a bit more polished at this stage of things. So we're going Bekoev to get the win. Now we close off the prelims with a women's bantamweight clash. We have got Miesha Cupcake Tate, 38, 5'6", 66.5 inch reach. Coming off a win from her last fight. Right? So, she is 7-6 in the UFC, 6-2 in Strikeforce. And those 2 losses, I believe, were both to Ronda Rousey. I believe. Right? Last time out, she beat Juliana. Right? 3rd round stoppage. That was December 2023. I can't remember if she was pregnant or if she was injured, which is why we haven't seen her in a while. Right? So she lost to Lauren Murphy and she lost to Ketlin Vieira. They were not good fights for her. Not good fights. She did beat Marion Renault, which was a good win. But yeah, it's Miesha Tate is talented, but it's just where is her head at this point, right? I did see somewhere that she was talking about fighting Kayla Harrison and how that could get rid of the frustrations around Rousey, which I think if you still have that in your craw at this stage, it's not maybe the best thing, right? And it's a distraction. You know, it's definitely a huge distraction. And when you are going up against talented individuals, right? Yana, Foxy Santos, 35, 5'6", 68.5-inch reach advantage. Right, so they're both the same age, but Santos is slightly taller and actually, I think they're the same height. But Santos does have, I think, a reach advantage. Yes, 2-inch reach advantage. Right, she's coming off a win in her last fight, which was against Chelsea Chandler in August 2024. She's currently 5-5 in the UFC. She's 1-1 with 1 no contest in Invicta. So, yeah, I don't know. It's been a while since we've seen Tate. And unlike someone early in their career, I don't know if we're going to see huge improvements and changes, really. Let's be honest, right? So, yes, it's what could happen, right? Santos, I think she might be slightly more rounded, you know? And I think she's just been more active of late. Now, I don't know if I would be shocked if Tate won, but I think I'm going to go with Santos to get the win here. It should be interesting though, right? And I think a fun way to end our prelims and take us into the main card.